What's up, nerds? Plugged In is back and better than ever. I'm your host, Xavier, and to my right, I have Sanai and I have Ant. Today, we'll be discussing Stranger Things theories, the Spiderverse casting, Percy Jackson, and so much more. Let's roll the intro. Alright, so let's start off today's episode by talking about Stranger Things Season 5, as if things couldn't possibly get any stranger. So we all know about this hit Netflix series. What are your thoughts, everyone?
I'm personally a very big fan of Stranger Things. I started watching, I believe it was Season 2, right around quarantine, and I just was hooked. I think it's just, a lot of people feel nostalgic about that particular time in the 80s, so I feel like that show just brought that sort of, I don't want to say aesthetic because that sounds cringy, but I mean, is it really that cringy? Yeah,
it's accurate.
I mean, it is. It's just that aesthetic of the 80s is just so pristine. It's sort of flip it on its head, and all these crazy things are happening. It just seems like a very interesting show, and I'm kind of sad that it's ending now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Honestly, I haven't watched as much of it as I want to. I've only watched seasons 1 and 2 pretty much. But from everything that I heard about the 3rd and 4th season, I'm missing out.
Yeah, you really are. It's just okay. The thing is, season 4, I think, is personally their best season because everything that you kind of wanted to happen with the characters so far has happened. So I'm just hoping, because I know we need to, I know particularly characters like Lucas, I really want to see where they go with him.
Yeah.
Because not many of the seasons have been really focused on him as a character. I mean, we have certain, scenes here and there, but there's not, really a story arc that we get with him. So I'm really hoping, especially with the whole possible love interest thing with Max, I hope that does happen at some point. Or at least something happens with Lucas, because nothing has happened with him yet.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of the future, we've also gotten a release about the first episode of Season 5, the title of it. It's called The Crawl.
Honestly, I feel like they're trying to end the series with a bang, and I really do hope that they do, start to wrap up some final things, give one last story arc to each character that is currently, in the season so far, and to just sort of wrap everything up, because even though I'm sad that they're ending the show, I hope that they don't go a la Game of Thrones and give us a terrible season, because the show has done fairly well, and I think is Netflix's most popular series at this point. So if they do go Game of Thrones and give us a horrible season, it's just going to ruin the whole series if you do.
Yeah.
So I hope that they don't do that and they actually give us a good episode.
Yeah, it's definitely important to wrap up everybody's stories and everything. Though I don't know about that title. It's kind of crawling in my skin a little bit.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Stranger Things, it's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I assure you it's really good. And maybe one day I'll take my own advice.
Yes, please.
So, changing topics, we're going to move on to this topic of everyone's favorite demigod. No, I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about Percy Jackson.
My initial reaction to that was going to be Jesus, but then I was just going to feed into that, apparently.
Oh, God.
I mean, we definitely have a lot of things to talk about, apparently, with everyone's favorite guy, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Hermes. Hermes.
Oh,
okay,
boy.
personally, I may be going against everybody here. I'm just a theater brat. So every time I hear anything about Lin-Manuel Miranda, I'm immediately getting hyped. Just because I just like the guy's music. That's really all it is. Him as a person,
Questionable.
Yeah.
But his music is the music that he's made for In the Heights, Hamilton, and Encanto. The music is good, and also apparently for Little Mermaid, which I still am wrapping my head around.
Yeah.
But I feel I hope that they don't go a full I hope they don't have him writing any music though, because if they're gonna do that, I swear.
Yeah. Also, you forget, I'm a theater major, so I'm with you. Hey. But no, I feel I don't know how Lin-Manuel Miranda's like music would actually like fit with Percy Jackson, because like he has a very specific
Sound
style
to
and
Yeah.
sound.
Like, I swear if one of them just starts rapping, I'm just gonna start laughing.
Oh no.
Oh my God, Grover breaking it down on the Hydra. Oh my God.
No.
He's gonna have all 7 heads turning from that Hydra.
Bro.
No.
Oh my God,
Bro,
that would be
okay.
Good
amazing.
Lord, no. I don't know. I think this will definitely view how people feel about the series, though, because, I mean, most people who are going to watch Percy Jackson usually are not in the same market as people who, like, watched Hamilton or Encanto. I don't think they're in the same, like, audience. So I think, hopefully, on the positive end, this could get people to, like, look more into Lin-Manuel Miranda. But on the other hand, this could just, like, make people think, oh my God, he's in everything. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of is. You kind
Yeah.
of can't escape him, which
Yeah.
is also the sad part. Every time you see something, he's in it.
Yeah.
Which, again, part of it I'm not complaining about, because some of them are my favorites. But I'm also kind of like, why are you in everything?
Right. But personally, I grew up reading the Percy Jackson books, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little robbed looking at the movie, like the original movie that came out. It was good. Like it was all right, really. But like I don't know if it was all too authentic to like the actual like the piece of literature. I totally lost my words there. But no, I'm very excited for like the casting and everything. I think they have a lot of really cool people, but I'm just excited and hope they stick to like the book.
Yeah,
Like-
I really hope that does happen.
So go watch Percy Jackson if you haven't, ladies and gentlemen. And now we'll move on to our next topic. We're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and of course, the sussy. Among Us is coming to VR.
Yeah.
What do we all think?
Oh my God.
Among Us, oh my God, it's venting in pretty soon.
No.
Oh, no.
shut-
Oh my God.
Okay.
No. Okay.
It's venting onto the market the day after we record this.
Oh my God, stop it. Okay, so I will say I do have like, there's a special little place in my heart for Among Us because like, that is like quintessential like quarantine activities. You were not living life unless
Yeah.
you were like playing Among Us
Yeah.
in your room during quarantine.
Oh,
Because like, what else were you doing? I mean, I don't know if I really want to answer the rest of that question, but that like most of the time you weren't really doing much but playing video games anyway. So Among Us was basically sort of like your escape from not having to be stuck in your room all day.
Or you were reading books.
Yeah, reading
Read-
books.
Reading
Percy
books.
Jackson
Reading
again.
Percy Jackson.
Reading
Go
Percy
watch
Jackson.
it.
Go watch it.
It hasn't come out yet, but go watch it. Looking at you, time travelers. But like, I think that VR was the natural like expansion.
Yeah.
Like it blew up in quarantine. It led to personally one of my favorite like eras of like YouTube and Twitch, where
Oh,
just
yeah.
like the collaboration era.
Yeah.
So many big names would just like work with each other and like build off of each other, even if they weren't doing Among Us. Like the fact that they like had so many collaborations was like just peak.
I think that was just like the time where everyone was like, hey, we're all stuck in our rooms. We're all stuck in quarantine.
Yeah.
What are we going to do to at least have some sort of fun and yet also make content? Just have group games of Among Us.
Yep.
You can literally do, I think people have now, like at least in the past, made like their entire content just Among Us content, which I mean was definitely very profitable as people are now going to probably buy it on VR. Are y'all going to do it?
If I ever get like a VR headset, I do plan to, because I can imagine that would be an experience.
God, I wish I could have VR just to play Among Us.
Well, could you imagine how funny that would be when like you're actually like you have the headset on and you're like,
Yeah.
he's like he vented, he sus.
Super hot? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Blade and sorcery, we don't need ya. Among
Among
Us
Us.
is where it's
It's
at.
at. Like literally, I feel like a lot of people are just gonna like take away all the other VR games. And you know what? Screw all those games.
Don't
They
need 'em.
don't matter. Among Us.
All of those, they're a little sussy.
Oh
They're
my
a little
God,
sus.
In case you haven't noticed, this probably will not stop.
no.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stop.
Yeah, I hope
going.
that all these jokes don't make you guys think that we're a little weird
Oh
at all.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Though being real, Among Us has changed like so much since the original release.
Yeah.
With like all the quality of life changes, like they have new roles as well.
Yeah.
That's
like,
interesting.
The
Me and-
shapeshifter, the guardian angel.
Yep. Me and some friends played recently, and we were like, guys, what is the engineer, and why can I, a crewmate, vent?
Yeah.
That guy, I hate to tell you, spoiler alert, he kind of got sent away.
Oops.
We didn't understand, but no, it's changed so much that I think moving to VR could definitely like, I think it'll be really fun and definitely up the scare factor.
Oh yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
definitely like those games are like games that you only know that you can play when it's like. I think it will bring a great level of like collaboration and camaraderie amongst friends because that was initially what the original game was about.
Yeah.
So I'm very much hoping that eventually when we do get it on VR, it'll be a nice little way of like hopefully you can still be able to play it like as the regular like mobile game.
Definitely.
But I think having the extra element of somebody else playing on VR, that's going to be so funny to watch.
Fall Guys was really popular,
That too.
and
Yeah.
then they died off. But then they did
Unfortunately.
one small change of making it free, and that brought a lot of player base back. I think that doing the same thing, like, especially if the price point is like low enough, I think that'll like be a really big like selling point for people to come back and maybe they'll vent back into the series.
Oh my God. All right, so to wrap it up, let's all just take a minute to remember how much has changed. The era that was brought into this world by a little potato-shaped astronaut. Among Us VR, be on the lookout. Get yourself a headset. I don't care how expensive they are. Get yourself a headset. Play Among Us VR. Stay sus.
Vent to the
Anyways.
nearest GameStop.
Oh my God.
Sus. Anyways, our next topic is the Saw movie, Saw X.
Okay, so I'm a bit of, not only am I a theater brat, but I'm also a horror nerd, and I love Saw movies. So when I heard that Saw X was eventually going to be coming out, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of happy because, I mean, there's just such a novelty to Saw movies that I just love, and they're just hilarious. Even when they're obviously not supposed to be, but it's funny. Because, I mean, I don't know, it's just like, not only is it like a funny movie, it's also weirdly poignant in a way. Because, like, weirdly, this villain guy, like the Jigsaw Killer, is so weirdly intellectual and wise, but you're killing people.
Yeah.
So it's the funniest thing where you're just like, why are you this wise, but you're killing people? Like, how?
I will say that, at least in my opinion, like, they started to, like, take a bit of a dive in quality as they went on. Also, wasn't the series supposed to, like, end with, like, the 6th or 7th installment?
Okay, so technically it was supposed to end at the final chapter at Saw 7, but then technically they came back again in the Jigsaw, and then they said that was
Jigsaw.
going to be the end, but then they came back with Spiral last year and said that was going to be the end.
Yeah.
So I think we're going a la Halloween franchise and just bringing out movies all over
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
because that's not going to get old anytime soon.
No, never.
Like, I don't know. With me being such a horror nerd, as much as I love these franchises and I want them to keep going, another part of me is like, just stop them when they're good.
Yeah.
So that way we can enjoy the series as a whole and not have to be like, okay, I can watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6. I'm going to skip 7 because that is garbage.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, let
Yeah.
me just watch the movies that are actually good before I have to like
Yeah.
skip them all.
Though on the bright side, I feel like Saw might actually have more of a place to like print out a bunch of sequels than like Halloween or Friday the 13th
Yeah.
because of their main gimmick being the unique traps.
Yeah, I
Like the
can
reverse
see that.
bear trap is so iconic
Yeah.
that they like put it in a bunch of other movies.
Yeah,
They
I think there was like another thing where a lot of people were like using the saw traps as like inspiration for like kills in other movies.
Yeah.
Which I find very interesting because a lot of people back in the day were like, Saw's a horrible movie. It's just full of traps. Da, 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 da. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, sure. But I don't know. I do like the fact that Tobin Bell is reprising his role as the
Yes.
voice of John Kramer because I mean, it's not a Saw movie if you don't
have John Kramer.
Because like
Yeah.
he's the Jigsaw killer.
yes.
You can't just replace Tobin Bell. You're not getting away with that. It's just
Yeah.
not happening.
Plus, Spiral wasn't exactly what I was hoping it would
I
be.
was hoping for it to be good, but
yeah.
it just wasn't that good. There were some parts I liked. There were some parts that were interesting, but
Yeah.
the majority of it was just okay. What else? Like,
Yeah.
where are we going?
Yeah, it was a little complicated to follow the plot, but like I really hope that they can bring back like the classic like style of Jigsaw.
Now, what I would like to see is if we finally like get a closing thing on like some of the traps like we haven't seen in a while.
Yes.
To like hopefully have those come back. That would be interesting. To hopefully see.
All right. So everyone take a look out for the Saw movie as we wrap this up, and we move on to our next topic. Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, starring everyone's favorite Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Talking points today, Daniel Kaluuya and Issa Rae. They're the new voice actors for the Spider-Verse movie. Thoughts,
so
opinions,
first
predictions?
of all, when I heard that Daniel Kaluuya was going to be in a voice actor, I was so excited.
Yes.
Like literally, I loved him in both Black Panther and Get Out. So watching him like voice a character, I'm so happy. And also, I love Issa Rae, so like watching her get to voice act someone is also very great for me.
Yeah.
I just find it like very like interesting though, because I mean, this is supposed to be like a trilogy of like other stuff, like a trilogy of these movies. So like getting a chance to like see how these play out is definitely going to be very interesting for like how it's going to be as a whole, especially with Tom Holland's Peter Parker also apparently making an appearance in this movie.
Yes.
Correct.
Very, very, very interesting.
That is very exciting. Like
Yeah.
I can't wait. I love the Spider-Verse movies. Like they have great story. They have great character building. Like
The animation.
and the animation is top tier. Like we can all agree on that.
Absolutely.
So
But
good.
like personally, I've always been a sucker for like introducing new and different characters. When I've always loved Spider-Ham, but when they brought it to like the main like
the groove.
the block, like the blockbuster, I'm losing my words. Oh my god.
It can get weirder.
It can get weirder. I loved seeing all the new characters, and now being able to see like Spider-Punk, Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm so excited because like this could really bring up some like, especially now that we're getting into the fact that now they're essentially bringing the MCU into this movie now.
Yeah.
That almost makes me happy at the fact that we may possibly be getting a live action Miles Morales movie with him now being in the MCU. And I swear, if we actually get that, I'm gonna be so happy.
A little fun fact, if you were paying attention, I believe Spider-Man Homecoming, there is a scene where Spider-Man is talking to Aaron Davis, also known as the Prowler, also known as Miles Morales' uncle.
Yes.
And he does mention Miles once.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess even with that small little like Easter egg of a thing there, that does hint at the fact that when this movie comes out, there is a possibility of them maybe making a live-action Miles Morales movie and putting it in the MCU, which, again, I absolutely love that idea. Marvel, please do that.
Now, that is a good idea, but I see that and I raise you half live action, half animated. Like they're
I
going.
kind of like it.
What about like here's at least my idea. A lot of different Spider-Men came into the Miles Morales' Spider-Verse. But what if Miles was to travel to different universes and then halfway through he gets like stuck in Tom Holland's Spider-Verse and then gets like introduced into the MCU in live action from a complete like mistake like Venom.
That's a good point.
That's
I think that could actually be a decent idea because I mean, we know that Miles Morales' character is probably the closest to Tom Holland's, which
Yes.
basically makes the most sense when you think of like how they both grew up. They both grew up in New York. They both have the sort of boy next door sort of personality. They both have they both sadly lost someone that was very important to them that sort of gave them the reason for their powers in the first place.
Yeah.
Like they both like really if they have I'm kind of surprised they haven't had an interaction like before this
Yeah.
because they honestly have the closest like interaction out of anyone that I've seen in the MCU.
Yeah. I think Miles is a really good successor to Spider-Man. Like he has all of the general Spider-Man like abilities and personality, while he is a bit more like on the nerdy and then like more cool side, while Spider-Man's more like on the nerdy and like witty, I guess. They're both witty, but like Miles is more like smooth with it.
Like I've always referred to Miles as like if Spider-Man grew up as more street smart instead of book smart.
Yes.
Correct.
Like
There
he
you go.
is more like the street smart version of Spider-Man, and I really like the fact that they went with that instead of just making him nerdy just for sake of being nerdy.
Yeah, I agree.
Another little point I'd like to bring up, bringing Miles into the MCU. I'm about to say the Spider-Verse. He's already part of that. We get something else for the Young Avengers.
Yeah,
That
very
is true.
I really do hope that they at least either mention it or possibly put him in, because I mean, if you're trying to make the Avengers and you need a Spider-Man, he's right there.
Boom.
So
And as awesome as that topic is, we're going to have to put a page in that because it is time for Pascal and his What If segment.
Hey there, Marauder Nation. Welcome to Plugged In's Imagine to Remake, Reboot, and Retell segment. This segment is about questioning you, the audience, about what if a movie, anime, cartoon, or live-action TV show gets a reboot, or a remake. I'm your host, the one and only Pascal Maganese, and this week we're talking about Stranger Things that gets an anime adaptation or a cartoon. Here are some questions to consider. Number 1, how will fans react to the adaptation? Number 2, how will the adaptation be different from the original? Number 3, which Japanese animation studio or La Hollywood Animation Studio should animate and join the anime production or cartoon production? And who will voice Eleven and Vesca in the adaptation, or will they reprise their roles? Oh no. Let's find out soon. Give us a comment on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or any other social media platform. And I think we're out of time for today. Tune in next time, Millersville Marauders. Wakanda forever!
Thanks, Pascal. Now let's go over some upcoming movies. So for starters, we have, of course, we can't forget, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, November 11th.
Yes.
Then we have Disney's Disenchanted, coming out November 18th, along with The Menu.
Ooh.
oh my
And we also have Disney's Strange World, coming out November 23rd. We have Glass Onion, also November 23rd. We have The Whale on December 9th. And then we have Avatar, The Way of Water, coming out December 16th. And finally, we have Babylon, 2 days before Christmas, December 23rd.
Like, I mean, I don't know. All these movies are fine. I don't know. Other than Black Panther, I can't think of anything else.
Also, I just want to say something really quickly. I think that the directors of Avatar said that they are going to stop production on Avatar 3 and 4 if Avatar Way of Water
Y'all
flops.
should have
wise
done that in the
move.
first
Which-
place, but whatever.
Yeah, at that point, I feel like they should have just waited before being like, hey,
Third,
so I
fourth,
know,
fifth one.
look, I know that Avatar Way of Water, the second one, hasn't come out yet, But guys, get hyped for the fourth one. Get hyped for number 4.
It only took them, like, God knows how long to realize, maybe this is kind of a bad idea.
Like, I don't know. I think, like, he just got way too cocky. It was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, we're just going to put out all these movies and they're all going to do great.
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Everyone.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not hoping that it flops. I'm not, like, praying on its downfall, but I'm also kind of like, you should have just thought through this before you decided to do this, but
Yeah.
what do we know?
Yeah.
Like, it's another like, don't judge the movie because of the director.
Yeah.
Like, the director did do some fun stuff with their choices, but
All right.
I think we shouldn't. The movie will still be entertaining, probably.
Well,
I
ladies and
hope.
gentlemen, the moral of the story today, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Watch Stranger Things, watch Percy Jackson, watch Spiderverse, play Among Us VR. I'm Xavier. This is Sanai. This is Ant. This has been Plugged In. And tune in next week for another riveting discussion in the world of pop culture. Have a great night, Millersville. Bye.